Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel and thanks for logging on. If you enjoy this watch, email tmosso@thewatchbox.com, the direct line for you to me and my crew for all of your purchase questions concerning this or any watch you see here on Watchbox Reviews. And today we are discussing the Omega Speedmaster Professional Moonwatch Gemini XII Special Edition, a watch reportedly built in 200 pieces, 50 examples for the Missions 50-watch briefcase of 1997 and 1998, and then 150 additional models created for conventional retail. So this watch part of a rather select group of mission-specific Gemini XII Speedmaster Professionals. 1997 and 1998, the original run for these, and you can see it is a classical moon watch on my 16 centimeter circumference wrist, 42 millimeters in diameter. The watch measures 14.4 millimeters thick with that traditional Hesselite thermoplastic crystal. From lug to lug, if you're just measuring the case, 48.5 millimeters with the solid end link of the bracelet added. It's 53 millimeters across the wrist with a 20 millimeter spacing between the lugs, and moon watches look great on textile straps. As you can see, this is a late 90s Omega Speedmaster bracelet, which is to say it's good looking and somewhere between a dress watch and a sports watch bracelet, with these oval cross-section links that are polished on their outer face with polished intermediate staggered link alignment. And you'll appreciate that back then you used pins and sleeves for sizing your bracelet. So if you want to size this one at home, you'll need a punch and a block, but it is quite secure once you have sized it down. As you can see, two different anchoring points inside the clasp for fine-tuning the adjustment, and then you've got a milled out clasp of outstanding structural integrity. And note the enduring depth of the engravings externally. This one has been minimally and sympathetically as well as professionally refinished. The timepiece featuring a twin trigger release system, as you can see, quite secure. This was the clasp along with the Seamaster Diver 300 meter that forced Rolex to rethink its stamped oyster clasps. Now you'll appreciate that this shape has not changed much. I have a 10512 from 1964, and as you can see, that 105.012 is almost identical to this Gemini XII from over 30 years later. The timepiece with the satin finished midcase, the large lyre style lugs that turn inward and outward with polished expanding bevels. You can see the polished underside of the tachymeter scale bezel and the anodized aluminum insert in outstanding condition. The dial features the mission emblem of Gemini XII of 1966, and you've got James Lovell and Edwin Aldrin, so you've got Buzz and you've got Jim Lovell right there. The dial, otherwise conventional, and this was right after the switch to Luminova from Tritium. That occurred in 1997 on the Speedy Pros. So you do have a modern dial that glows conventionally. You'll also appreciate the fact that it's no nonsense. Matte to resist glare with printed indices of a high contrast Luminova. I want to say that might be the C3 version of Luminova, as well as white varnished hands. Lumed seconds hand, that's important for use in space. It's also nice to have, and every chronograph should have it. I don't know why every chronograph doesn't have it. You can see the little Omega logo over the center of the thermoplastic Hesselite crystal, and you can see that lovely off-axis distortion. Why thermoplastic? Because NASA asks for it. It's easy to scratch compared to sapphire, but almost impossible to shatter, and you can't have free-floating loose objects, i.e. shattered sapphire, in zero gravity. Now the watch continues to use the Moonwatch caliber. Back then, they just switched caliber 1861, so rhodium-plated goodness, 18 joules, manual wind, 48-hour power reserve, 21.6 beat rate, and a tank-tough cam-operated lateral clutch. It's based on the Lemania 1873 Abauche, and it is still the movement used in today's NASA-certified and NASA-issued moon watches, as the watch is still used in space flights, as well as still certified for extravehicular activity. And because Omega is an industrial giant, I have to say that the crispness of the cam in this one feels as good as any column wheel. 50 meters water resistant, so it's not necessarily an aquatic sports watch, though it is a very tough watch objectively, both against extremes of temperature and shock. That was part of the NASA certification and recertification process. As you can see, it was the first watch worn on the moon. Truth be told, those were the caliber 321 pre-moon watches, but hey, who's counting? These watches have flown with real astronauts many times. Very uncommon Speedmaster Professional Limited Edition, and people like to say that there's a million Speedmaster Professional Limited Editions, but when you're looking at an example that is this scarce, again putatively 200 pieces, you're talking something very special indeed, and unlikely ever to be seen on the wrist of a fellow enthusiast. You can see this one and pick it up on thewatchbox.com. Email tmosso@thewatchbox.com.